Fancy felt dazed, full of wonder and confusion. The warm mastery of Jeff's mouth plundering her breast was a strange mingling of both heaven and hell. The pleasure shot through every part of her, causing her body to demand things it had never asked for or even known about before. Involuntarily, she arched her back, allowing him even greater access. He was greedy, and yet he was gentle, and when he suddenly stood Fancy on her feet before him, she was startled and off balance. She swayed a little, and he caught her, steadied her, his hands strong on the curves of her hips. Knowing full well that she was at this man's mercy, Fancy stood perfectly still, waiting. She knew that she should run away, or at least resist, but she couldn't bring herself to do either of those things. Her complete conviction that Jeff Corbin wouldn't force himself upon her if she protested did her no good at all. In silence, Jeff looked up at her, and she saw an amazement in his face to match her own. His hands began easing the skirts of her new lavender dress slowly upward, ever upward, and Fancy felt an odd, heated chill. A protest climbed into her throat and then lodged there, unutterable. He had brought her skirts to her waist, and she stood before him in only her drawers, having no petticoats to provide further interference. He bent forward very slowly and nipped at that now heated center of her womanhood. A groan escaped Fancy, along with a strangled, senseless, "What are you... Oh, God!" His deft fingers undid the ties of her drawers, slid them downward. She was completely revealed to him now, and she trembled with a certain delighted helplessness. Never before had she permitted a man any liberty such as this. On the other hand, even though she despised him, Jeff Corbin was not just any man. There seemed to be a separate set of rules governing him. With 2 fingers, Jeff unveiled her. What would he do now? Did he mean to hurt her? Fancy's mind swirled with unanswered questions and unspeakable desires, the foremost of which he immediately fulfilled. Jeff's tongue touched her in that most vulnerable place, and some primitive part of Fancy's nature came to the fore, completely taking her over. Her head fell back, with no order from her, and a soft cry of surrender escaped her. He began to kiss her, to nibble at her as though she were the most delicious delicacy, and she groaned his name, her fingers tangled, frantic, in his butternut hair. She still didn't know what magic he offered, but she was already prepared to beg for it. Unconsciously, she widened her stance to permit him greater enjoyment, and he chuckled brazenly as he tasted her and lapped at her with his tongue. Finally, he took full suckle, and when he did that, Fancy gave a choked shout of triumph. Heat surged through her, all of it coming from the delicate bud where his mouth at once caressed and punished her. She shuddered as the joy built toward some unbearable conclusion, and his strong hands gripped her bare bottom, holding her close, making the anguished pleasure inescapable. "Oh!" she shouted, and there was a great, brutal trembling inside her as this unknown need was finally met. When the last tender explosion had ebbed away, Jeff stood, then calmly removed Fancy's new dress, her displaced drawers, her camisole. "What are you—" she managed to choke out. "I've never—" "Oh, certainly not."